Yeah. Wow. Kicking off this week of game hunting at GameStop, where I'm going to be picking up an online order that I made for a game that came out recently that went on sale. You'll see what it is in a sec. Alright, so I picked up my order and it went pretty smoothly. It was busy though, and my GameStop just implemented another one of those 5 people per store rules, which I don't know why we're going back to that, but okay, cool. Anyway, I did pick up one game. And it's a game that came out recently that was on sale for $40, which is pretty good. And I'm sure I'm going to have opinions on this. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the definitive edition on the Series X. Yes, I know this game has a lot of problems with it, or at least it did. Rockstar has promised they're going to be patching a lot of it. I've never played any of these GTA games, so I wanted to play them on my current gen system. It was on sale for 40 bucks. I figure, you know, it's worth the pickup, and rather than trying to get enough credit to pick it up, I figure I'll just place the order online and pick it up in store. So I have it, GTA, the Trilogy. We'll see how it runs. Hopefully it runs decently now on my Series X. But yeah, I don't think I'm done today though, especially because one of the YouTubers who I followed for a long time, Cincy Game Hunting, apparently was in town over this weekend and got some scores at Cash America and Value Pawn. And I don't remember seeing the games that he picked up when I went, so they must have gotten some new stuff. So let's head over there and see if we can rustle up some more scores. It hasn't been that long since I've been here, but let's see if my hunch is correct and they got some new stuff. Let's go. All right, so they did have some new stuff. I didn't film the games. They did have some new games, though, mostly on PS4 and a few other odds and ends. But one thing that I noticed that was really interesting is they had a fat PS2 for $70, which is not terrible, honestly. I don't have a PS2 and my PS3 is not backwards compatible. So I would not at all mind picking up a PS2 that works well. I wanted to see the controller. They didn't know where the cords and stuff were. But I'm going to come back and take a look at those. But I think I might pull the trigger on that PS2. Because I haven't had a PS2 in a long time. I have a good amount of PS2 games. So it'd be nice to be able to play them on a PS2. But I did pick up 3 games. 2 of which I got to flip. And they're not like huge bump ups. But there'll be something. Because GameStop is once again doing a 30% bonus for games that you trade towards certain pre-orders. So these are going to go towards Pokemon Legends Arceus, which comes out soon. And then I got one game just because of the condition of it. First we have Sky Odyssey on the PS2. It says $3 here. This was actually $2. I mostly got this because this looks like a really early life cycle PS2 game. It's from 2000, so it's a very early life cycle PS2 game. The condition, it looks brand new. Like, I opened it up. The disc is flawless. The manual is flawless. It looks like nobody's ever played this game. And I'm like, you know, that's kind of an oddity. Might as well grab it. And it was $2. So I figured that was a pretty good deal. Next up, an old classic that unfortunately is not worth nearly the credit it used to be. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the PS4. Paid $5 for this. It's only worth, I think, $6.60 currently in trading credit. So it's not worth a ton. But it's worth something, so I figured, you know what, I'll grab it, and with a 30%, that'll make it like, you know, $8-9. So it's a little bit of a bump. It might be worth it in the long run. And then I also picked up the Lego Harry Potter collection on the Xbox One. Again, this was like a $5 or $6 bonus in trading credit. I only paid $5 for each of those 2 newer gen games. So not too bad. I definitely, if there were better games, I missed them. The only other game I was tempted to grab was they did have Spider-Man, but they wanted $8 for it, so I passed on that one because, again, it's only worth $6 or so in trade-in. But I got 2 games I can flip and get a little bit of extra credit, not a ton, but a little bit, and 1 game to add to the PS2 collection, and potentially a lead on a new PS2. So, pretty happy. So yeah. solid run at Cash America. And now I'm gonna head over to Value Pawn and see if there's anything I missed over there. Well, we were able to come away with something at Cash America. So let's see if we can come away with something at Value Pawn. Probably not, but you never know. Let's go. Same stuff, different day. They have pretty much all the same things, including the games I was looking into last time, but again, they're only worth $6, and they're asking for at least 8, maybe more. So nothing worth picking up in there. But yeah, I mean, I got a couple games from Cash America and picked up a new game from GameStop, so not a bad little game hunting trip for sure. So now I'm gonna head home. I might do a little more game hunting before the end of the week. And I've got some gaming pickups for Brosmas because I know I'm getting at least one new game. And I'll show you that when that comes around. This was on my way home, so I figured, you know what? We're game hunting. Let's go see if there's anything. Struck out the last time. Maybe things will change. Let's go find out. Yeah, struck out again. The prices were just too high. Like, they had Days Gone for $10. And typically I can get them, knock a buck or two off, but there's no room there. There were a couple games I was kind of interested in just to add to my collection. But even then, $10 is a bit steep. So, yeah, there's just nothing there. One game that if it was cheap enough, I totally would have grabbed is they had Twilight Princess on the Wii, but they wanted $30 for it. So, yeah, I can't justify spending that much on a pawn shop game, especially one that doesn't have the value. Because Twilight Princess is like less than $20. It's definitely not worth $30. So, 'tis what it is. I'm gonna head home now, and I do some more game hunting later in the week. I haven't done a lot of game hunting this week, so let's head to Value Pawn. See if anything's changed over the past week. Let's go. So once again, they really didn't have much. They got a couple new games in, but most were not anything to write home about. However, there was one game that's been sitting in there a while that I decided, you know what, if I can get it for a good enough price, I'll pull the trigger. Got it for $5, which is not terrible. It's more than I would like to pay for a 360 game, but it's in really good shape, and I figured, you know what, why not? It's not a bad pickup. So I got a complete Game of the Year edition of The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion on the Xbox 360. Yes, I know this is on Game Pass, but I wanted a physical copy because Oblivion is, of course, one of the important games in the Xbox 360's life cycle. So this is a really nice copy. It's got all the DLC, everything on it, and the discs are flawless. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and grab Oblivion for $5. So yeah, pretty slow week when it comes to pawn shops, unfortunately. But that's okay. Not every week's gonna be a banger. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week of game hunting. I do have one more thing. I have a package that I'm waiting on still. And then I also have some gifts I'm probably gonna be getting for Brosmas. I know it hasn't been that long, but I happen to be in the area, so I figured let's just go back to Cash America, see if they got anything else worth picking up. There's a couple game trade-in values at GameStop's website that are spiked, so maybe I can find some of those. Let's go see what we got. Yeah. Wow, that was pretty terrific. So you might remember earlier in the week I stopped by and I asked about the PS2 they had for $70. Well, technically $69. Nice. And they told me they needed to track down the remote so I could see what the controller situation looked like, because I wanted to make sure the controller was in good shape. So when I came back today, I asked about it, and they brought out this bag. And apparently everything that came in the bag also came with the PS2. So it's a PS2, comes with a giant carrying case bag. There's like several memory cards. I think there's like 4 or 5 memory cards, including a 2-pack of sealed ones, which I'm pretty sure sealed PS2 stuff is worth a lot of money. 2 controllers, 1 original, 1 third party, a DVD remote. There was a lot of stuff in there, and honestly, it all looked solid. So I put $10 down. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, I'll pick that up. But that was too good of a deal to pass up because I don't have a PS2. And I figured that's a good way to get one because my PS3 is not backwards compatible, so now I'll have access to the entire PlayStation line except for the PS5, which I'm working on. But while I was there, I picked up 3 games, and one of which I'm going to add to my Flip collection. Again, it's not worth a ton right now, but maybe when there's a promo, it might be worth more. And then the other 2 I picked up to add to the collection. So first off, we have Spider-Man on the PS4. The last time I went in there, they quoted me 10 for this, and I ended up getting it for 5. So 5 is doable. It's worth $660 in trade-in. With a 30%, it'll be worth like 7 or 8. So a little bit of a bump, not severe. So again, I'm probably going to hold on to this until I can get a good like 50% bump from GameStop. So another nice game to add to my trade pile. And then I looked through the older gen games and found a couple that I thought were worth picking up. First, we have Nerf End Strike on the Wii. This is like a first-person shooter on the Wii. I never played it. Originally, you were supposed to play it with like an actual Nerf gun. You could put your Wiimote in. I'm going to just play it with the Wiimote, but I mean, it was only $2. Might as well add it to the collection. It looks like kind of a fun game. And then the last one, and this one I mostly added because it's in good shape and I have a feeling I could flip it for a decent amount. SpongeBob SquarePants movie on the PS2. It's complete. Pretty good shape. The disc has some light scratches, but it definitely should play. So not a terrible stock, mostly because of that PS2. I'm very happy that I'm going to be picking up that PS2. So now I'll have a PS2, a PS3, and a Wii U that I added to my collection over the last year, which is pretty nice. So yeah, pretty happy. I'm going to head over to Value Pawn next, see if they've got anything. And I might actually head back to La Familia because they have at least one game that has pretty high trade-in value right now. So I might try to pick that up, see if I can negotiate them down. Let's head over to Value Pawn first and see if we can find anything good. All right, we're back at Value Pawn. See if they got anything worth picking up. Let's go. So nothing in Value Pawn, unfortunately. I did check the loose Game Boy Advance games, and yeah, there was nothing good left. Cincy Game Hunting found Pokemon Y, so he definitely scored there, but I didn't find anything good. They also had a 360, which I am in the market for a new 360 because, again, mine is broken. The disc tray doesn't work properly, so it opens if you open it with the system. And it only opens when you have a disc in the system. It's a weird situation, but I do want a new one, so hopefully I can get that replaced in not too long. But I did want to mention, because I was curious, I looked up some of the values of the accessories that were included in that PS2 bundle that I showed you, and right off the bat, I can get it for free, essentially, by selling 2 of them. The sealed 2-pack of memory cards, according to price charting, is worth $62. And then on top of that, the media remote, because it does have the media remote, is worth $10. So if I sold those 2 things on eBay, that pays for the whole lot, meaning I get the PS2, both controllers, all those extra memory cards, and everything else that's in there, and the bag for free, which is pretty great. So I definitely scored on that. I'm probably going to try to pick it up maybe as soon as next week. We'll see. But I want to pick it up soon because that is a really good deal. And the sooner I pick it up, the sooner I can try to flip those items to make a profit, or at least get the console for free. So yeah, I did well on that. I'm going to head to one more pawn shop, and that's La Familia, because I know they have Tony Hawk 1 and 2 on PS4. They might have Crash Team Racing on PS4 as well. I'm not 100% sure. But those are 2 games that for some reason have shot up in trading value at GameStop. So I want to see if I can track them down, and if I can, get them for a decent price. That's going to be the key. But yeah, I'll head over there, see if I can find a few games that I can hopefully negotiate with them down the price, and get some stuff to trade in GameStop. So the last time I was here, I looked at several games and the prices were just too high, so I passed. But there's a number of games that are currently spiked at GameStop. So if they have them, I might pick them up and try to negotiate them down. Let's see what we got at La Familia. Okay, so that was fairly successful. They did not have CTR, sadly, but they did have a couple games that I was looking for. and one that I just decided to grab for the collection so I can make a bundle deal. Now, one game I did pass on is they did have a copy of MLB The Show 21 on the PS5, and they wanted $25 for it. I looked at the trade-in value. It was worth about $20, so I could have gotten a slight bump, like $1. It just wasn't worth it. They were willing to bump it down to, I think it was $22.50, but there just wasn't enough meat on the bones for that one, so I passed. But I did pick up 3 games. Each of these were $9 essentially, because they gave me 10% off. So not the greatest margins, but I think I did okay. So first off, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the PS4. As of the day of this recording, for some reason, this game is going for $16 in trading credit at GameStop. I'm not sure why it's worth so much, but it's worth a pretty good amount. So I knew they had one, and I figured if I can get it down to under $10, it's probably worth trading in. Lo and behold, I did. So picked this up, but they also had a second copy. And this one was marked more. It was marked at $15 for some reason. I got them to go down to 10 since for some reason they're the same game, but one was marked differently. So I picked them both up. Hopefully retains this value. I'm going to try, because I've heard from a few different places that GameStop might take 2 of the same game on the same platform. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll find out. So I'm going to attempt to trade that one in too. And then the last one, which I got just to add to the collection, and I know this is not a good game, but I figure it might be a bad games candidate. So we'll see. But it's a game I don't see very often. This is Ghostbusters on the PS4. This is not the actual Ghostbusters, the game. This is a crappy movie tie-in that was supposed to tie in with the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. It's like a top-down co-op game. Apparently it's not very good. It's not a game you see super often, and it has been delisted. So I figured, you know what? For $9, might as well grab it, add it to the collection, and that way might be a good bad game to play for Halloween or something. So, but yeah, I picked up 3 games, $9 each, not too bad. So now I'm actually going to head home and compile a pile of games that I might trade in and go to GameStop, because if I can trade in both of these Tony Hawks, and I might even trade in my own personal copy of Crash Team Racing, might be able to get some pretty solid trading credit that I can use to pick up some stuff. So let's head home. Let's make a pile, see what I can get. All right, time to do some trades at GameStop, see what we can get and what I get. Let's go. All right, well, as you can see, I'm back in my room, and this is actually a few days after I went to GameStop. And it's gonna be kind of a triple recap, sort of, because I wanted to recap what I did after I went to GameStop, as well as a few other extra things. And might as well do the final recap for this video for good. All right, so first off, GameStop. I got over $100 in trading credit, which is pretty fantastic, and I didn't have much to use it on. So what I did is I found they had some Pokemon card boxes, which are fairly hard to come by nowadays, especially in my area. So I grabbed one for my other channel, so you can see me do an unboxing of it on the BigCTV channel if you want to see it. But I got that for $30, and I still had $60 left over. And that's after full paying Pokemon Legends Arceus. So I full paid that game, picked up a Pokemon box, and still had $60 left over. Now, I was tempted to use it on Rainbow Six Extraction, which I don't need to do because it is on Game Pass, but I wanted to get the deluxe edition so I could get all that extra content. And it does look like the kind of game that I think I'd want to play past when it's in Game Pass. But I ended up not doing that, at least right away, because my GameStop didn't have it in stock. So instead, I actually used the credit online for an online order from GameStop, and you'll see the results of that hopefully next week, because those games should come in. So yeah, don't really have much to show from that trip, except for I got a Pokemon box, which I already opened by the time I'm filming this, and I got a bunch of credit that I'm using next week, or that I already used, technically, and the results of that will be coming next week. So that's what I did from GameStop. Anyway, I did get 2 games from Brosmas. So if you don't know what Brosmas is, you probably haven't watched my main channel. Brosmas is a holiday that my buddies Wyatt and Corey made, along with myself, to basically be bro Christmas, because the holiday season is typically a time where you're going to spend it with your family. And we wanted to have an excuse to do fun holiday-ish themed things with our bros. So we created Brosmas to kind of be an alternate. And originally wanted to do it in like the earlier part of the holiday season, but we ended up moving it to January just because it's after the holiday season. We got time to kind of prepare stuff for it. It's usually a pretty quiet period of the year, so we don't have to worry about things being absolutely nuts. And a lot of Christmas stuff is on sale right before Brosmas, so we can get a lot of good stuff for cheap. Anyway, I did get 2 video games as part of my Brosmas gifts that my bros gave me, so thank you guys. And they're both pretty solid. So this one, funny story. When I went to GameStop, I went with Corey and Matt, and Corey hadn't got anybody's Brosmas gifts. This was the day before Brosmas, so he needed suggestions. So I saw this game in the PS4 section, and I've never seen it before. It looked kind of interesting, so I'm like, you know what? Here, if you want an easy gift for me, here you go. And he got it for me. So we have Tokyo GOUL RE Call to Exist on the PS4. I don't know what this is. Supposedly it's based on an anime. It looks cool, whatever it is. I'm very intrigued. So, and it's a game I haven't really seen before. So, should be fun to try out. We'll see how it is. Maybe it's a game I'll play on the channel. But yeah, it looks interesting. So yeah, this was a gift. So obviously I didn't pay anything for it. And it is worth $28, so a solid pickup there. And then this one genuinely surprised me because I think it was around Black Friday, I gave Matt a list of games that I was kind of interested in, and he picked one up, and he insisted that, oh, I don't think it's a game that you have yet. I'm like, okay. I bought a lot of the games I gave him on that list afterwards, because I'm like, well, I can get them for dirt cheap, so I might as well do it. And sure enough, the game he picked out, I certainly did not have on my list, and I'm very glad that he grabbed it, because he got it for a pretty good price, and it's a game I was kind of excited to play. Paper Mario, the Origami King on the Switch. Now, I know this game has kind of a bad rap for its combat system, but I heard the rest of the game is actually really charming and fun. It's a game I don't want to pay full price for, and in this case I paid nothing for it because it was a gift. But I figure it's definitely something that I want to experience and want to check out the world for it. So thanks, Matt. Excellent choice. This is not a game that I was planning on buying myself, so the fact that I got it for free for Brosmas, pretty awesome. So this one is actually worth $30, so another solid addition to my collection. Alright, so now we're going to go over the rest of the pickups. Now again, like I've been doing lately, I'm not going to go over all the stuff that I picked up to trade in. Just note that I got a pretty good amount of credit for all that. It was over $100. And I did include a few games from my personal collection. And the main reason why is because there were a number of games that were really spiked. I have no idea why they were spiked so much, but they were. One of them was Crash Nitro Kart on the PS4. Now, I've had that game for a while. I haven't played it in a long time, but it was trading in for $20 before any kind of bonus. So I'm like, yeah, I'll trade that in. I found that game a number of times, so I can pick it up next time I find it for cheap. And then another one was Gang Beasts on the Xbox One. I picked that up for like $3 a few weeks ago, and it was trading in for $9. So I'm like, well, I could almost triple my money. Actually, I more than tripled my money on that one. And then similar situation for Gears 5. I picked up a physical copy on Black Friday because it was $5. And it's not a game I needed a physical copy of because I have it digitally because it was games with gold. And it's on Game Pass. But it was trading in for like $15 or $16. It was like a ludicrously high amount of money. So I'm like, well, yeah, I'll trade that in. Because again, that's a game I found for dirt cheap a number of times. So all three of those I traded in to get a bunch of extra credit on top of all the stuff that I found at various pawn shops. And I already told you what I did with it, so I think I did pretty well. But here's the other stuff that I picked up from pawn shops and then one pickup from GameStop. So we'll go ahead and go with the GameStop pickup first. This one I mostly picked up because it is a game that I wanted to pick up. Now, I know its reputation, but supposedly a lot of the bugs have been fixed. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know that for sure, but supposedly a lot of the bugs have been fixed. It was on sale for I figured, you know what? Why not? Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy Definitive Edition on the Xbox. It has been enhanced for the Series X, so it's all 3 of the classic GTA games. I had never played any of them, so I'm excited to have this collection. Paid $40 because it was on sale, and this one is worth $53. So this one has some solid value still. Now we're gonna go to my pawn shop pickups, and I still got a decent amount of games I kept for my collection. We're gonna start off with Cash America, where I kept 3 games, all of which are old gen, but I think I did pretty well with them. So first off, we have Sky Odyssey on the PS2. This is like a launch PS2 game. It came out in 2000. It's complete. It's in gorgeous shape. Not a game you see very often, so I figured, you know what? I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna add it to my PS2 collection. I'm glad I did. Paid $2 for all 3 of the games that you're about to see. That one is worth $8, so pretty solid value. Next up, we have the SpongeBob SquarePants movie on the PS2. I've seen the movie. I'm not nearly as big of a SpongeBob fan as a lot of people are. I know that's sacrilege, but I find SpongeBob amusing, but it's definitely not like my favorite show ever. I think I'm a little older than a lot of the SpongeBob fans. But this was in really good shape. It's complete. The disc is in good shape. And again, it's not every day you find a really nice condition, pretty decent PS2 game for that cheap. So I paid $2 for this, and it is worth $13. So this one actually has some pretty good value. I'm on the fence whether I'm going to list it on eBay or not. I might. I also might hold on to it because pretty good game. And then the last pickup I got from Cash America is Nerf N-Strike on the Wii. This one just has a generic kind of broken GameStop case, but the disc is in good shape. This is a first-person shooter. The original version, you could actually have a Nerf gun peripheral that you could put your Wiimote in and play the game, but it's still completely playable without that. Just use a regular Wiimote, that's it. $2 for this, and it is worth $6. So the lowest of the bunch, but you know, it's $2. Next up, we are going to go to Value Pawn, and I only picked up 1 game because their stock has been pretty terrible as of late. I think they just haven't recovered from Christmas, so they haven't really gotten a lot of good games in their stock. But this one has been sitting there for a while. I don't have a physical copy of it, and this is a good version of it to have. The discs are in perfect condition. Paid a little more than I would like, but it still was worth it in the end. We got Oblivion, Game of the Year edition on the Xbox 360. This is the one that has the dual branding. It's got Xbox One and Xbox 360 branding because they're trying to promote that, oh, you can play it on Xbox One even though it's a 360 game. It's in great shape, looks flawless. Paid $5, and this one is worth $13, so this one has some decent value. And then this one, the last game I picked up for the week, and I know this isn't a good game, but it's a game that you don't see very often. It's delisted, so you can't purchase it online, and might be a good choice for bad games in the future. Who knows? We got Ghostbusters on the PS4. This is a game that was not affiliated with the 2016 Ghostbusters, but it was released around the same time. It's apparently just a bad top-down co-op Ghostbusters game. I haven't played it yet, but I figured, you know what, it wasn't expensive, and it's not a game I see very often, so I might as well add it to my collection. I actually picked this up at La Familia. I paid $9 for this, and it is worth $16, so it actually has a decent amount of value. I forgot to point out in my recap that I actually picked up 3 games on the Xbox Digital Score, and all 3 of them were part of a backwards compatibility sale and were really good prices. So first up, I picked up a game called Raw, which I didn't know anything about. It looked interesting. It was $1.50, so I figured why not. Of course, because these are digital games, I'm not going to send them any value, so it doesn't really change anything in terms of the end product, but you know. Next, I picked up Killer's Dead. That's a game that is pretty expensive physically, and I've wanted to play for a long time, but I didn't want to pay a lot of money for it, and I picked it up for $3 digitally, so I'm like, you know what, that's a great price. Might as well snag it, and that way I have the ability to play that game. Obviously, that's a game where if I find a physical copy of it, I'll still pick it up. But now I can play it without the disc, which is kind of nice. And then the last one, again, a game that if I find a physical copy for a good price, I'm going to pick it up. but I really wanted to play it, and I really wanted to play it for the channel, and the price was insane, so I had to pick it up. TimeSplitters feature perfect on the Xbox. This was one that was added to the backwards compatibility list fairly recently, and it's one of my all-time favorite games. I have TimeSplitters 2 coming in the mail from Christmas from my sister. She still hasn't sent it as far as I know, but she's going to be shipping me that. I do want to pick up a physical copy of this one as well, just because I love that game and I want to own a copy of it. But at least I have the ability to play it even while I'm waiting for that, because it's a pretty expensive game. But for $2.50, I had to pick it up. And now I can play it for the channel, which you're probably able to watch now. So just wanted to mention those because I forgot in my little recap. But yeah, some digital pickups from the Xbox store. And that's it. Not a huge week when it comes to pickups, but we picked up some solid games, including a few good games from Brosmas, and overall I'm pretty happy with all of my pickups. We got some good stuff to add to the collection, and I think overall it's a solid bunch of games. Next week's going to be interesting because I have a lot of packages coming in with some pretty interesting, uncommon games on some modern systems, as well as a few other things, and I'm hopefully going to be able to pick up that PS2 bundle, because that PS2 bundle is pretty sweet. So anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop on this channel. We're trying to drop videos 3 days a week. We've been able to do that recently, so hopefully I can keep that up. We just started a series as the time of this recording where I play one of my all-time favorite games growing up, which is TimeSplitters Feature Perfect. It is backwards compatible on the Series X, and they just released it digitally. So I'm playing that for the channel, and we'll see what else I decide to play. I'm actually thinking about starting Danganronpa as well, the first one. I know I started a long time ago on the PS4, but it's on Game Pass, so I can stream the first one on Xbox, so I might do that. So yeah, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.